Hey gang, Jesse here, and I'm just going to show you a few of the things that I look for whenever I go to buy a vehicle. I literally just bought a Camry car the other night, about 3 weeks ago, in Oklahoma City. Bought it off a Facebook Marketplace. So first and foremost, I'm not going to be able to advise on the title on every single state, but here in the state of Oklahoma for sure. I believe all other states are going to be the same, but you want to make sure that if there is a lien on the title, that you have a lien release paper signed by the bank, right? So that you can actually take over ownership of that vehicle. In this particular case, the car that I bought didn't have a lien on it, so there was nothing to do other than Oklahoma's a notary state, so the seller had to notarize the title. We got that all handled, and I was able to get it in my name. But prior to that, a few of the things that I'm going to look for is the very first thing I'm going to do when I come up to a vehicle. Before I start it, I'm going to go ahead and pull the oil fill cap. A couple different things that I'm looking for when I pull the oil fill cap. So see this one here, it's nice and clean. It's not completely full. There is a little bit of residue. So if we look right there, there is a little bit of residue. And what that is moisture content in the engine oil, that milky stuff. So sometimes, especially on one that has a head gasket failure, that will be completely full of that creamy looking stuff. It'll just stick in there like vanilla yogurt or something like that. In this particular case on this vehicle, because I know a little bit about this vehicle, this vehicle is not driven very much at all. And when it is driven, it's usually driven very short periods of time. And so that's just going to be residual moisture from not getting up to operating temperature very often. So I'm not super worried about that, but I am going to look and see if that's full of that moisture content. It's just something to be aware of. If I do have a lot of it, then I'm also going to want to look in the radiator after I start the vehicle to see if I've got a problem there. But I'm gonna start there, and then I'm literally just gonna check my fluids. And so on this one, the dipstick is right here. Here's the engine oil dipstick, and so I'm gonna pull it out, and I'm looking to see if I can see any metal on the dipstick, like metal shavings. I'm looking to see how dark the oil is, and if there's even any oil on the dipstick or not on the dipstick. I'm gonna do all that, and then I'm gonna smell it. And that just smells like regular motor oil. So what am I trying to smell for? I'm trying to smell if it smells burnt. I'm trying to smell to see if there's a high level of gasoline in it. Like if I can smell gasoline in the oil. That's another thing that I'm trying to smell for. This literally just smells like motor oil. No burnt smell, no gasoline smell, no nothing. And the oil is on the dipstick. It is about full. It probably just hasn't settled down from whenever the vehicle was pulled in here. So if I want to know what the actual level is, this will be just like checking the oil. I'm going to go ahead and use a rag. I'm going to completely clean off the dipstick. The vehicle's not running. It's been setting for at least 3 minutes. This is how you properly check the oil. I'm going to stick it in. I'm going to stick the dipstick all the way in. And if you come over here, you can see it's not wanting to go all the way in. See, it wants to stop right there. But it's literally supposed to go all the way in. And you can see that it hasn't went all the way in a very long time, which is interesting. But yeah, that should go all the way. There it goes. Now that we got the dirt wiped off, it goes all the way in, just like it's supposed to. Okay. And, okay, so now you can see our oil should be between this line and this line. When it's completely full, it should be like right here in this area, right? But more often than not, the specs, like Ford says this one takes 6 quarts, it'll generally land about right there in the middle. So we can see this one is a little bit below the bottom line. If it's below the bottom line, we need to add some. This particular truck here is about 1 quart low. So we'll Nothing to be worried about. I'm not sure how many miles it's been since the oil change. If it's about due, then you know, that could be within spec. But I'm just going to keep that in my memory bank. I'm going to check the power steering fluid. This one doesn't have a dipstick on it. It just has a sight glass. And I'm literally just looking to see if I can see how dirty it is, see if there's any metal in it. I can't reach it, but it looks good from visual observation. Brake fluid's right here. That looks good from what I can see on the outside. This is the coolant overflow tank. So I'm not really going to pay attention in there because I'm going to check that right here. This is the actual radiator cap. This one has a radiator cap. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that and just see if there's any coolant in there. And a couple other things I'm looking for is if something like bars leak or something like that has been used, and you're going to be able to see that. They'll generally be on the end of the radiator cap right here. But this is literally looks like just regular residue from the coolant. So everything's good there. But if I was to check, it looks like at one point in time there was some sort of sealant in this. But if I was to check, for a head gasket leak, and this is still a good idea to do, I'm going to go ahead and start this vehicle, and I'll show you what I'm looking at. Now listen to how it starts. It spins over fast, it sounds strong. I'm not hearing any abnormal noises coming from the engine. But what I'm looking at over here is if I've got a blowed head gasket, I'm not sure that we can see down inside there very good. But what I would generally see if I was looking, so see, yeah, there's been a sealer at some point in there. Some sort of sealer. We can see if you look down in there, you can see the fluid is super nasty looking. This vehicle probably needs a flush of some sort. However, there is literally no bubbles in the coolant, and that's actually what I'm looking for. I don't see, it's not pushing the coolant around, it's not bubbling out. So a head gasket failure will generally cause exhaust to go into the radiator, which causes an overheating problem and all kinds of other problems. So if I was to look at this truck and want to buy it, I would feel like that the engine is okay. I'm not seeing just a ton of sealer in it. It's just a little bit maybe, or it might be something else. Who knows? Just gonna look general over, make sure there's no major oil leaks. It's not a brand new vehicle, so it's not going to be a brand new vehicle, but I'm not seeing anything major. We've got a good battery in it. Radiator. So on this one right here, this is the transmission cooler. This is the condenser, and behind it is the radiator. Okay. So I see all this oil and stuff right here on the condenser. I don't know if that's Freon leaking or if that's something else that's leaking. The only thing really in that area could be Freon, so that's just a mental note I'm going to make is like, listen, in the summertime, the air conditioner possibility that could have a leak and that would have to be fixed. So I'm literally just going to put that in my mental bank. Then I'm going to look at the tires, and then I can see how much tread depth there is. So like this bar right here, okay, that bar right there is called the wear bar. And that bar is at 230 seconds. So I don't even have to have a gauge or anything. I can literally tell that these tires are about 430 seconds, maybe 530 seconds. And I come back here and there's another wear bar. And I'm also looking to see if the tread is about the same on each side, which it is. So therefore, my suspension components are probably pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and take a glance underneath it. And in real life, I'd actually get down on my knees and just look and see if I see anything underneath there. Is my transmission leaking? Am I seeing any loose components on the front end? I'm gonna turn when the truck's running. I'm going to go ahead and turn the steering wheel. So I'm going to turn the steering wheel, and I'm not feeling any play in the steering wheel. Excessive, at least no excessive play. So see, my tire is moving, and so that tells me that my front end is really tight, so that's good news. When I drive this vehicle, I'm going to pay attention when I push the brake. Is my brake pedal bouncing? Is my brake pedal super soft? What's going on with that? So I'm going to pay attention to how does the transmission shift. Does it shift and feel like it's shifting normally like it's supposed to? That's the other fluid that we're going to check. If it's something that can be checked on this vehicle, is the transmission fluid. On this one, I believe it actually is a sealed transmission, which is unfortunate because there's no way for me to actually be able to pull the dipstick and see the fluid reading, right? So that's the unfortunate part of that. So if I wanted to get a better read on how the transmission is, what that fluid is like, I literally have to take it to a shop and do a pre-purchase inspection to get those answers. But on my walk around, those are some of the things. But I'm going to pay attention to how it's shifted. And then same thing, I'm going to look at the back tires. As you can see on this one, these tires are all the way down to the wear bar, right? So I know that I'm going to have to replace, if I was to buy this vehicle, I'm going to have to replace these tires immediately. Okay, I can look at the brakes. I'm going to see if there's any major grooves on the rotors, see if I can see how thick the pads are. And then of course during the drive, I'm also going to check the cruise control. I'm going to check the wipers, the basic everyday stuff, and then I'm going to check and make sure all the lights are working. Last thing you want to do is buy a car and then the lights not work whenever it gets dark. So fortunately, the last car that I bought, it was actually dark, so it was very easy to see if the lights was working or not. So hope that helps. A few of the things that I look for. Is that everything? Absolutely not everything that can be looked at. There's all kinds of things you can do. We actually sell a pre-purchase inspection here at the shop where we'll put the vehicle up on the lift. We'll shake down all the suspension parts. We'll get readings on all the fluids and the condition of the fluids. And then we'll take it on test drive. We'll look at the brakes, look at the tires, look at all the different things for you. Write it up so that you can make the most educated decision you can on purchasing a vehicle. Trust this helps. Look forward to catching you in the very next video. Let me know, which vehicle did you end up buying?